Dear viewer, as you've probably guessed by the fact that you've never heard of today's tiny bottle, lightning did not strike twice. Hello, and welcome to My Tiny Bottles, the project where I'm exploring my grandmother's legacy of miniature liquor bottles, one tiny bottle at a time. I'm your host, Tammy Coxon. In 1979, Gilbey's of Canada was looking for their next product. To move things along, they hired a product development company called Product Initiatives, PI for short. This was a strategy that had paid off brilliantly for their parent company, International Distillers and Vintners. They'd hired a similar firm and ended up with the wildly successful Bailey's Irish Cream. So they gave Gilbey's the go-ahead and hoped that lightning would strike twice. Dear viewer, as you've probably guessed by the fact that you've never heard of today's tiny bottle, lightning did not strike twice. PI's early research identified that there might be a marketing opportunity among consumers of white spirits, gin, rum, and vodka. Their research also identified lemon as a flavor those drinkers wanted. After 9 months of research, countless telephone focus groups, actual taste tests, and somewhere between $175,000 and $350,000 in today's money, the result was Bottle 46, Mandalay, a dry lemon spirit released in early 1982. I know all about this because of a 1983 article in Canada's Financial Post magazine talking about PI and their approach to product development. They used Mandalay as a case study in the article, with the product development lead from Gilbey's talking about how they couldn't afford failure and they needed to be 85 to 90% sure the product would succeed before they launched it. And less than 3 years later, an article in that same Financial Post magazine would use Mandalay as an example of a failed product. Now, I assume that for the original article, the author had asked PI for a company they should talk to, and they'd suggested Gilbey's and Mandalay. The implication was definitely that they thought the product would succeed. By 1986, of course, they were laying the blame anywhere but themselves. According to the head of product development for PI, Mandalay was launched even though the research made it clear it didn't taste very good. In other words, it was all the marketing director's fault for rushing it out before it was ready. The marketing director, of course, insisted that it just hadn't been marketed quite right. It was put on the wrong shelf of the liquor store. It might not have been what 1980s white spirit drinkers were looking for, but I'm interested in tasting this bottle, even though I kind of expect it will taste like Lemon Pledge. According to that 1986 article, the goal for Mandalay was to capture the taste of a real lemon soaked languorously in an alcoholic beverage. It is 35% ABV and in a glass bottle, so I've got higher hopes for it than some of the other 1980s liqueurs I've already put in my mouth. Does a dry lemon spirit sound appealing to you? Drop a comment about it below, or leave a comment on My Tiny Bottles on social media or at mytinybottles.com. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm hoping to taste this one soon, and I did. Check out the next episode. And I know you don't want to miss that. Cheers.